Hey there, and welcome to my dad's backlog, where I play games for the sake of my dead dad. I had covered Sonic Adventure 1 earlier this month, and I asked people if they wanted to see me rank the main characters, the playable characters, and they said yes. You can call me Raven, and I'm just gonna get right to it after I explain a little bit about the parameters I'll be judging them on. I'll be judging them based upon a combination of their stories through the game, because the way that Sonic Adventure 1 is covered is a Rashomon style, in which you get to experience the story through the eyes of different characters, but at the same time, they're not perfectly overlapping. So some characters had their stories start before others, and some ended after the others. The other parameter is going to be the enjoyment of the play style that the character had. That's another factor to take into consideration, because this is a Sonic game, so it was built around Sonic the Hedgehog. So characters that don't play like Sonic the Hedgehog have degrees of less fun playability for me. And I'm going to be ranking them in the order that I played through as them, which was Sonic the Hedgehog, Tails the Fox, Amy, who is also I don't think Sonic does I haven't Sonic does Sonic have a last name? I can't remember. I know that in the comics or whatever, in the lore, his real name is Sonny, but he's just Sonic the Hedgehog. He's the blue blur. Miles, Tails, Prowler, Amy Rose, Knuckles the Echidna, similar to Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't know if Knuckles has a last name. Big the Cat, also not an enjoyer of having family names. And was it E103 or E102 Gamma? Who was a robot made by Eggman himself, Dr. Robotnik. Anyway, so Sonic, the character that this game was made for, the character that is the main show, he's got like twice as many levels in content as any of the other characters. His story is the spine of the game, or you could say the connective tissue in a way, in that without him the game doesn't suit, because it's a Sonic game. But at the same time, unlike the other characters, he doesn't really change much. But as you'll see in a later one, that doesn't impact my enjoyment for the character themselves. Sonic is okay in terms of character presentation and his story. It's serviceable. I don't feel like. I mean, it is kind of bad because the Sonic adventure. I mean, Sonic's not really known for the stories in the games. So from that perspective, the writing isn't great, but it's an enjoyable experience for all ages. Now, in terms of gameplay, his is probably the best. As I said before, the game was built for him, so the stages are built around moving around pretty fast, finding different areas to go through, split second decisions, unless you already know where to go, in which case you're just going to go there anyway or whatever. So I'm going to say that for my enjoyment, I'm going to say that Sonic was a firm A tier. Now, on to the next character, which is uh, Miles Tails Prower. I always thought it was Prowler growing up because, foxes are little hunters. But no, he's just, I think he's 5? And he's a mechanic, and he knows how to read, which are all fantastic things for a 5-year-old to be. His gameplay is not dissimilar to Sonic's in that he's supposed to just run through the stages and go really, really fast. The main change for Tails is that he can fly, because he's got 2 tails, you see. It's 2, right? I don't think he's got 3. I think it's 2 tails. And he like rotors around and shit. He, in terms of the story, has some degree of character development and character motivation, though it's more towards the last, like, third or so. But it is reflected in his gameplay and the way the story shifts for him. He finds things to be more. scary. Like Eggman, he's more terrifying for Tails. And regarding the gameplay, he is generally trying to beat whoever he's racing against. He's trying to prove himself. And by the end of the story, he kicks the shit out of Eggman and prevents, I think, a nuke from going off, or some sort of Eggmatronic device that levels a city. I think it's easier just to say that Eggman is nuclear capable. So that's him regarding, I guess, both his mechanics and his story. I would say that I would put him, because he's got a bit more character to him, and I don't hate the gameplay. So I'd put him just slightly above Sonic. Now we're on to Amy Rose, who, okay, so I think Sonic's 15 in this game. I don't know how old Amy is. For the benefit of the game, I guess I'll say that she's also like 15, but she's like, she's in love with Sonic. She's his romantic interest, or at least she wants him. I don't know if he likes her that way. I don't read the comics. I just know basic facts about the comics, and I know that it's a fucking mess, to say the least. But her story is a better done version of Tails's in that she wants to stand on her own 2 feet and be able to be more independent. And so that's fairly well done. She learns to protect a little birdie. And the thing about the Sonic games, and I would have ranked the stories better overall if they leaned more into the punkness of some of the stuff in some of the cartoons and the comics, in that it's almost a cyberpunk story in that Eggman is taking these little creatures and putting them into robots as a power source of some sort. I guess like the Matrix. I think that's how they explain the Matrix generally, though I think I've heard that originally the plan was that it was like a computing thing. Like it was like a multiplicative, like not, it wasn't that they were giving the energy. It was that they were, I don't know the computer terms right now at the second, but it's like for every human it gives more than just one human because it's adding up. It's processing power shit. Anyway, I don't know why I started talking about that. I can't remember. Anyway, back to Amy. Oh yeah, she has a robot. Oh yeah, the birds and shit. The birds and the little birds and the big robots. She learns to be a hero on her own and help protect the little creature against a robot called Zero, who chases her around, kind of Terminator style. And I would say that it's unintentional horror, in that in some levels you're getting chased by this robot that you can't defeat. You can knock him around, but he won't stop. And at some points, because of a combination of, I would say bad controls. Some people would just say challenging or like thematic. I would say it's kind of ass at times. The camera mostly. The camera fucking with you is a real bitch. But there were times when I was being chased around like this captures the feeling of being a young defenseless child being chased by an adult or something. And so for that, I have to give the story of Amy props. Her gameplay is trickier in the sense that you do tricks in the form of like hammer jumps. You slam the hammer on the ground and you go flying a little bit. You fling yourself. It would be cool to see Thor do that, but he kind of just fucking throws it. I think, right? With himself holding it. I think Newton might have something to say about how that works. So I would have to give Amy, she does have better shit to deal with in terms of like story than either of the two guys I just put down. Her gameplay, barring the camera stuff, wasn't that bad. So I'll have to give her I would say she's on par with Tails, but like ekes it out in terms of story, and I give the most shit about story. The next character we have is Knuckles the Echidna. Knuckles doesn't have much going for him in terms of like character and story. He's like the last of lay eggs or some shit. They're weird fucking mammals. And I guess he was born. I don't know how the fuck he was born on an island and took care. I guess they're like, for the sake of kids or whatever, they're like, nah, he doesn't need milk. He doesn't need boobies. Which is fucking weird. Uh, so he is the last of his people being a bunch of warlike assholes that tried to fucking steal some shit, and for that they got divinely punished. He doesn't. He has like the surface level introspectiveness of a character could become interesting, but because of the way the game is presented and the fact that it doesn't dive deeply into things, it doesn't really have a satisfying conclusion where like he realizes, oh, these were my people, and I'm stuck guarding this fucking big ass mineral. Right? Are emeralds minerals? I feel like they are, aren't they? I don't have a Hank Schrader to help me in this situation. But I would say that regarding his story, not a whole lot that I give a fuck about. He is a dutiful defender of a big rock, basically, and he's kind of just stuck on that fucking island until, I guess after this game, he learns he can shrink the Chaos Emerald and then keep it as a necklace or whatever, and so he goes around being an archaeologist, which is pretty fucking dope. I mean, I like archaeology. But he keeps fucking losing the Chaos Emerald because it breaks into pieces because of, whatever fucking reason. So I feel like that's a no fucking point at that point. So for his story, not great. For his gameplay, he's kind of slow. You go around finding pieces of the Chaos Emerald. You do like a little treasure hunts, and that's not the worst. But in terms of gameplay, I'm not sitting here being like, yeah, I'm astounded by how much joy I had playing as Knuckles the Echidna. Everything either has to do with his interactions with other characters, either directly or indirectly. There's a level where he touches some levers, and that affects Eggman's ship, and that impacts the levels for, I want to say both Sonic and Tails. I can't remember if it impacts Amy's level or not. But it's he's gonna be the first character where I'm like not super into him. I'll have to put him as an okay. He's not good. He's not great. He's not bad. And he's not awful. But he's okay. Next up, Big the Cat. If you're familiar with the Sonic series, but especially this game, you might think, oh gosh darn, his gameplay is fucking awful and his story is not that great. But I'm gonna tell you something. Fishing in games, I hate most of it. I've played games that I played some like bass fishing on the PS2 or whatever. I played fishing in Stardew Valley. Minecraft is pretty fucking bad in terms of fishing. It's a no-brainer bullshit fucking. It's a waiting thing, and then I hate fishing in real life. My old man would take me fishing, and I fucking hated it. Here's the thing, though. I'm good at fishing. I just hate it. I hate just sitting there doing nothing, being eaten by mosquitoes. They love my blood. I've got a delicious blood type, apparently. And everything that will bite me will fucking bite me. Fucking flies, mosquitoes, some bee types, the ones that like the sweetness of your sweat. I don't know. Anyway, fishing is fucking awful in game and in real life. It feels bad to play. I didn't get it at points where I was like, why is this not working? I'm doing the things the game is telling me to do, and it's not fucking working. Why does Froggy keep... Why does he not... He has the lure in his mouth, and I'm doing the things the game told me makes the thing catch. Why is it not catching? But here's the thing. Big the Cat as a character, he's just a fun fucking guy. He has not a lot going for him in terms of development. But he's got a little bit of development, and I didn't talk about this in the main video, so I'll talk about it here in a moment. But Big the Cat is living his best life when he's not having to chase his fuck-ass best friend around. His fuck-ass best friend being a frog named Froggy. Very imaginative. I don't know if Big the Cat named Froggy or Froggy somehow communicated in some manner to Big the Cat. It also raises the question of, like, this is a world of, like, furries, right? They're like, it's a bunch of fur, and then there's also humans or whatever, like Eggman. That's a thing where I'm like, people will be like, oh, humans shouldn't be. Well, what the fuck's the situation with Eggman then? If Eggman exists, other humans need to exist. Unless it's a thing of like, oh, Eggman's the last human, he's building a fucking robot utopia for himself because he's just a sad little bitch boy who needs that. Now, I'm not saying that Sonic should kiss teenage girls, but Big the Cat, he's living his best life in the swamp-ass forest, going fishing with his little buddy, and vibrating sometimes. He's laughing so hard, he just fucking vibrates violently, and it's very touching to see him and Froggy just throbbing with joy, just fucking in that picture down there. And you know, fuck, I'm just gonna rank him already. Here's the thing. He's either a high B or he's a low A, and I'm leaning towards... Here's the thing, I never want to have to... God damn it, I'm going to be streaming this eventually. I might be streaming this soon, actually, coming this weekend or so, because I want to go through the Dreamcast, like, the graphics of the game, because I thought that the way that the game was explaining the installation for the big mod that fixes it, you either had to have the Dreamcast version with no fixes, or you had the version with fixes. And I believe the thing is that you can have the Dreamcast version with the fixes, which is phenomenal. But I still am dreading having to play through as Big the Cat. So he's going to be a high B. His gameplay I actively hate. I do not like dealing with it. The game is also just not built for him. He would vibrate when at, like, angles and shit. Like, if I was going into, like, a corner, or even I think it was even, like, a curb. I just, like, you know, stepped up onto the curb, and he just started fucking, like, freaking the fuck out. He's there wigging out, and I'm like, sweet Jesus, he's not built for this. It is funny that he can lift stuff and toss them, like, into the stratosphere. That is pretty fucking cool. But I think that's about it for Big the Cat. I adore him as a character. I loathe him for his gameplay. He's just a big, sweet muffin. He's just a big, cute guy. Big fucking cute fur guy. He's a fucking cool dude. We all could use a Big the Cat in our lives. Maybe not Froggy, though. He's kind of an asshole who just fucks off sometimes and eats crystals. Okay, it's E102 Gamma. I could have just literally just looked down. I'm still waking up is the issue, so my eyes are still fucked up. Anyway, alright. E102 Gamma. His story is one that brings both children and grown adults to tears. Did I cry a little bit? I think I did. I can't remember. It's been a couple of weeks, and my memory isn't what it used to be. It used to be a unicorn. But the story of E102 Gamma, at its base level, is not something we haven't not seen. The idea of a trained killer going rogue against his master. He turns rogue against Eggman because he realizes that all the robots are powered by innocent little creatures. These furry types, like the Sonic and stuff, they're called Mobians. That's I don't think they're a unified species. I don't know how it works. But the thing is, the little creatures, the little ones, little guys, the little, like Froggy, I guess he would count. They're called Mobinis or something, which sounds like some sort of Italian slur against gay people. But he has a big heart for these little gay Italians. And so he goes around killing his own robot brothers to free the little critters inside of them. And of course, this raises the question of like how cognizant of the situation are the creatures, the Mobinis? Are the personalities of the robots equal parts AI programming and Mobini? Because near the tail end, when he's destroyed the last of his brothers, and he's the last one standing, though injured, he's damaged. We know that he is able to do self repair program stuff, so he'd be able to fix himself, and he chooses not to. And in the end, Omega the robot dies so that the Flicky, because for some fucking reason these specific birds have a unique name that's different from Obini, gets to go free and join their family. And it's a really beautiful and touching moment. As somebody who has dealt with a family history of abuse and neglect, generational sorts of stuff, self-sacrifice for the betterment of others is something that's always beautiful to me, and it's done in such a beautiful way that I think it's very worth it to experience, even if it's just watching the cutscenes on YouTube. Because regarding his gameplay, it's okay. It's you're like I don't know how to describe a free range shooter in that you kind of I think you held down a button and you looked around. You couldn't aim really so much as like whirl around and shit. Maybe aim I don't think you specifically aimed the camera. It was just whatever's within range and whatever you're looking at would get targeted, and then you let go of the button, and then he shoots all the things. It's sort of like Deadeye in a way, in some versions of the Deadeye from the Red Dead Redemption games. And for that, the gameplay was decent. It's better than fishing. I think his levels were like one of the only ones where I legit just lost due to time constraints, because I just kept like there was like a big ass hook and you're supposed to like get picked up by it, and I kept not getting picked up by it. It's sort of stuff where like the game designers didn't fix these issues, and so because of it, it dampened my enjoyment of the gameplay. But because of his story, he is on par with Amy, but I'm not sure if he's better or worse than her. He is like the standout. You could make a little game of just him. Then again, you could technically make a game of any of these, and I feel like an entire game of Big the Cat would suck. But I've never seen a game capture the experience of being a young woman in danger so much as Amy covered. So I'll go with Amy eking out. Well, here, okay, at my heart, I have to say Gamma. That's one of the issues with tier ranking, right? Is that there's like individual beauty in each of them, except for Knuckles. I think that's about it for this. I think that this is a good ranking for all of them, and I'll be playing this on stream. May take me a few weeks because I only stream like once a week, but yeah. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay strong, and remember that trans rights are human rights.